Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to Cool Sports Chat, episode 52. You can see it's pretty much the usual four of us that join on this show. We got David, we got Grayson, we got Scott, and we're here to talk perhaps what's going to be pretty much the usual for us for a little bit. A short show where we kind of wrap up the weekly news. Unless any of you happen to watch any of the Pro Bowl stuff, I did not. Did any of you?
No, I don't enjoy wasting my time. So,
I mean, I saw clips of it on like Instagram and stuff, and nothing, to commentate on or actually make any sort of reasonable or substantial statement or anything. So, not really, man.
I mean, this is what 2 days later, and I have not heard a single thing about any of the Pro Bowl events. Literally, not one thing. So, I'm assuming nothing happened.
They got a free vacation and they're back. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, they went to hang out in Florida for a little bit.
Yeah, and it's not even like when back in the day, at least they got to go to Hawaii or something.
It used to be Hawaii, and then for a while they tried the whole let's do it in the same city as the Super Bowl, and then they decided let's just keep it in Florida. Which, I mean, I guess for the seasons and the time of year, I guess Florida's a good choice. But man, I bet it was a lot cooler when it was in Hawaii every year for them.
Yeah, because then it's something unique, Some of these teams are always in Florida, these players.
But plus, Hawaii's never going to get a game of any kind.
Mm-mm.
So this was the only chance that NFL, like Hawaiian fans, really got to see these players in person without having to go all the way to the mainland.
Yeah, and there used to be some pretty good highlights in the old Pro Bowl. Maybe not all the time. It wasn't like 10 out of 10 stuff, but there were some pretty good hits. I know Sean Taylor always comes to mind, just laying out the Bills.
Like you'd see some cool stuff or some good runs, or now they don't even actually tackle each other. It's flag football.
Yeah, and then they're wearing like sun blazers and caps and stuff and barely trying.
They don't care.
Yeah. None. Oh, the quarterback challenge I used to like, and I've seen some highlights from this year's challenge. I'm like, this looks lame. Like
it used to be really cool with the different throwing. It's like an obstacle course almost.
Yeah, with the quarterbacks, and like you're always like, all right, like it was Elway. Yeah, Elway would come in and Aikman.
It's like a bunch of
Favre.
Mario Party mini games that put the gauntlet on the quarterbacks, and now it's like, oh, just don't hurt yourself.
Right. Yeah, no, I think their whole let's make the Pro Bowl even more interesting or somewhat interesting, like completely backfired. Because now it just feels skippable. It feels like nothing happened.
Okay, so what would you do to make the Pro Bowl worth watching?
Oh man, I don't. Well, for one, I think I would put it after the Super Bowl because I think like it used to be, because I think it was cool for the players that won the Super Bowl to still be able to participate, that earned it. Because like now you're getting like maybe the 13th best quarterback in the AFC like participating in the Pro Bowl. Like that's silly, Like give it something like maybe. I don't know. You got to make it somewhat competitive between the players. I would take it back to tackle too, because the flag football stuff is stupid.
You might as well not play, to be honest. Like if you're not going to actually play football, what's the point?
Right. Look, you're not thinking of the owners and the actual managers here. Like, there's a bottom line that the NFL has to worry about. And I think you guys are showing a little disconsideration for Roger Goodell and the league as a whole talking like that. All right.
Poor Roger. We just never think of him.
No, I mean, hey, look, all jokes aside, who really does? Because it's Roger Goodell. The amount of bad choices he's made as the commissioner over his tenure has been baffling, to say the least.
Here, we'll throw this one out.
On the job.
Scott, who's the worst commissioner you've seen?
Oh, boy. Yeah, probably Goodell. It's got to be Goodell. I can't, can't think of anybody that's been that kind of silly. So, although honestly, between the 1 year, I guess it was the COVID year, and they did the draft, and so Roger is just sitting there in his big recliner doing the thing, and then they would go to the had cameras at each of the owners and the head coaches to do the drafts, and just kind of watching them from their own houses and stuff like that. I remember, forget what, if it was the coach of, I think it was Jacksonville at the time, but every time they went with him, there was his 3 daughters in their little cheerleader outfits behind them, kind of cheering on each pick, and stuff like that. That was just kind of fun, and just see them in their own houses and stuff like that. I kind of enjoyed that, but otherwise, it's just kind of been, not really a good decision after another just decision. Yeah, that's all I can really say.
Yeah,
well, sorry, go ahead, Keegan.
I was just gonna say he did give us the no fun league where you couldn't even celebrate for a while there. So
that was so stupid.
Yeah,
but I just looked it up, and apparently, he didn't even he went to college. He didn't do anything professionally. He just went from he didn't even play college ball. He played in high school, and that's it. I mean, at this point, it's I wish it would go back to the golden days of when the commissioner of the NFL was an ex-player, or at least had some sort of past high school experience, at least through college, or was recently in that world of football. And it's with Roger Goodell being in the position as long as he has, I think they need to find somebody else, and they need to find somebody that could be in a leadership position to take the league to where it needs to be again, instead of where it's just commercial friendly and everybody just kind of tolerates it because they like football still, but it's not what it used to be.
I agree. Make American football great again.
That's David. There we are. Let's get back at it. We're going to make American football so great. It's going to be fantastic. We love football. It's fantastic. Bring back the concussions, the brain damage. We need it. We love it. It's fantastic.
I think they need to add some kind of incentive to the Pro Bowl. Let's say whoever wins the game, that division all gets a bonus first round of the draft or something, where NFC wins, all of those teams get to do one pick, and then we go into the regular draft, or maybe in between the first and second round that they're getting a bonus pick earlier than the other side. Make it a reason to play.
Yeah, they're gonna keep doing this goofy stuff. At least just keep the theme going.
Yeah, we need some stakes, or whoever plays, if you lose, you're cut. You're out of the NFL. You're done. But if you win,
1 year probation.
Yeah, but if you win, your salary is doubled next season. So it's a double or nothing. It's either you're getting it or you're done.
Or if you win, it's at least guaranteed next season. It's fully guaranteed.
Or maybe the losers all get put back in the draft for this upcoming year. Where are they going?
Free agency.
Well, speaking of,
actually, no matter what the sport is, an all-star game is really, it's baseball. Each person is playing for an inning, if that, and then they're changing innings.
But at least I feel like they play.
Well, yeah,
somewhat the home run derby is still fun to watch.
Absolutely.
You can still enjoy things like that, whereas the football one, I feel like they have nothing worth watching anymore. I'm sure it'd be cool to go to if you were there in person to see, but beyond that, I just don't think it's very fun spectating wise. It's just a waste of time.
Well, if they were going to do anything, they should make it Battle of the TV Stars, or the Nick Kids Choice Awards, where it's just goofy stuff the entire time, just to keep people, like we just talked about, mini games or something to keep people interested in what's going on.
I love it when they do the halftime shows when you go to games. Sometimes it's a bunch of middle school kids versus mascots.
Oh yeah,
and the mascots usually just own them. You just see the Detroit Lions mascot just shoving a kid to the ground, stuff. Sure, let's do that.
Just do the players. It could even be flag football for them, but the mascots can tackle them, so it's mascots versus whoever's voted to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, the only thing that I think is kind of a benefit now of Pro Bowl being flag football is with flag football becoming an Olympic sport in the upcoming games, maybe our guys are just going to get more practice,
To kind of keep going on that theme of just going against the mascots, if we were to if they did something where the AFC goes against the NFC's mascots and the NFC goes against the AFC's mascots,
I'd watch the hell out of that game, especially if they all took it seriously.
Absolutely, 100%. They're like stiff arming each other, just like going hard on the paint. Yeah.
You know what though? I'd want to add like an element of like Mario sports, so there'd be like items sometimes that they could like just use in the middle of the games. That's what I'd be up for.
He got a first down in the first 10 minutes. He gets a power star to keep running and avoids 3 tackles.
Yeah, just or something, or just like
get like a steel chair you can whack the other.
Or like when he pushes a certain button, 3 turtle shells are going to come out of nowhere and hit the other team's quarterback. Just something to keep it spicy.
Something crazy.
See, I don't know what would be funnier, that or having to hear the commentators try to make that sound serious the entire time and just hear the life just come out of their voices as they're speaking and saying, he's got another power up yet again. Oh, look at that. He's tossing a chair. And down he goes. This is football, folks.
Or you know what? Let's do mascots versus the commentators. Make the commentators get out on the field and see.
I'd love to watch. Let's see Chris Collinsworth just get decked as hard as possible by the Chiefs mascot, because I would pay solid money to see that happen. I would waste an afternoon to see that happen.
I'm in. I'd throw some bucks down on that ticket.
All right, Roger, if you do happen to come across our show somewhere in the internet world, write down these ideas. Well, speaking of NFL, we'll get to predictions later as far as who we think win all the awards. Let's talk about 2 of the kind of movements with the NFL season right now. Grayson, obviously you're living through one of them. Do you want to run us through the big news out of Cleveland?
The unfortunate news, but not unexpected by anybody, is Myles Garrett is looking to get traded out of Seatown. And I don't blame him. He's wasting his talents there. He's got maybe three years at most left in his career. So I'd use those for a better team. I'd use those for a team that actually wants to make a change and do something different. I'd want to see him on a team like probably, maybe the Bills, maybe, Tampa, maybe even if he gets traded to the Chiefs and they go again next year just so he can get a ring, I'd want to see that because he kind of earned it. So, but other than that, I can't blame the guy.
Yeah, no, it's too bad because he's definitely one of their the faces of their franchise currently. It's pretty synonymous with Cleveland. But it's understandable. You come into the NFL wanting to win at least a championship. You're okay with a couple rebuilds, but now Cleveland's probably stuck at least one more year with Deshaun. And at some point, you got to say, "Hey, I want to try to chase that title." I am interested. I've seen a lot of teams thrown around. Maybe the Raiders being a team. Another one was the Cowboys. We'll talk about them again when we talk our other player. The Buccaneers, the Bears. So some of these teams that maybe can make a little bit of a playoff push.
Are we talking about Mr. T. Higgins? Is that?
No, Cooper Kupp we'll get to.
I don't think he's going to Dallas.
He's just been on both their lists, so I was like,
I wish I would not be upset, but I heard T. Higgins is the one that it looks like Dallas is trying to grab. Which isn't a bad one either. But yeah.
Yeah, because who's their secondary receiver right now after CD?
Just whoever woke up feeling the best that day, Sometimes it's a random kid in the crowd. Just
well, so
they
say
Joe Green and being like, "Hey, kid, there you go."
Exactly. It's kind of like that old Coke commercial with Mean Joe Green.
Oh yeah,
where he except it's before the game, and it's Jerry Jones throwing it at him, saying, "You better get out there. We need you."
You didn't spit at me as I walked by. You're in.
I like the cut of your jib, son.
Yeah, and then on the other spectrum, we have Cooper Kupp, who wrote a note. Both these players have wrote notes to the city. Cooper Kupp saying he wanted to start and end in LA, but the team is choosing to trade him, and they said they're going to trade him immediately.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
I know he had those injuries and stuff that he was out for a bit, but as soon as he got back in, he was tearing it up again.
Yeah, and their offense looks so much better with him.
Yeah, Kupp is fantastic. Like I said, if he came to Dallas, it'd be a decision that I would like, so it's probably not going to happen.
Well, guys, let me ask you this too, real quick. Is it just me, or does it seem like there has just been nothing but counterintuitive choices made by GMs and just teams as a whole, where they're just letting talent go for no reason? And they're just like, yeah, we don't care. Get out of here.
Because it's not even like they have a solid like backup of somebody they're bringing in or something.
Exactly.
It's like we're just doing it for the hell of it. There's no reasoning for it.
Yeah. Like they want to say it's cap space, but it's I don't believe that.
Yeah, with the cup one, I mean, obviously this is the team doing it, so it's different than the Browns. But it just feels so odd to me because he doesn't feel like he's that old. He was just Super Bowl MVP 3 years ago.
And again, the games he did play this season, he killed it.
Yeah, I mean him and Nakua,
them together was a dangerous combination. So all I can think is there must be something personal behind the scenes that we don't know about. Maybe he's clashing with the coaches or something, or some kind of culture issue. That is the only thing I could think of as a reason to get rid of literally a superstar.
Yeah, and I've seen some of the teams that are being floated around by some of these pundits as far as where he could go, like a Pittsburgh, and I was like, please don't be there, because I kind of like Cooper Kupp. He seems like a good guy. He
seems like I hate playing against him, but
yeah, I was like, I would hate for him to have to go to Pittsburgh because their offense is going to be terrible next year, passing wise.
I mean, who knows? This might be a step forward for them, though. Getting a solid guy on there like that. I mean, Steelers could be on their way up.
Now, they did say another team in the AFC North being Cincinnati. And I was like, you put him and Jamar Chase together? That'd be pretty dangerous. Kind of fun to watch. I know.
I mean, since it sounds like Higgins is leaving, even if they don't come to Dallas, I know that Higgins is probably on his way to somewhere else. So if they're losing him but picking up Kupp, that's a pretty good trade.
Oh yeah, I mean, because we've seen the Higgins has played a good role, and so obviously you need that secondary receiver because teams are just going to be all over Chase. They don't really have a tight end.
Yeah, he's a fantastic second choice. I would never make him your number one, but he's like a really good. Yeah. Oh, exactly. If he's complemented with CeeDee Lamb, they'd be fantastic together. Oh, I thought we had Bob. Never mind. Oh.
Oh,
there he is. Oh, there he goes.
And he's gone.
Is this just Bob going in and out all night?
Yep.
This is rated R now.
Bob's bobbing.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, these are interesting. I don't know. It's just, I know something we've kind of pondered between us is, it seems like there's a lot of movement for the Super Bowl not even being played yet.
It's very early on, and that makes me wonder, does it just mean it's all happening early, or are we just going to get hit with like a storm of news after this weekend?
I think it's the latter. I think we're going to get hit with a lot of news. It seems like more and more the NFL and like the trade deadline especially has gotten more interesting because it used to be terrible. You might get like a third stringer traded.
Now it's like big names going up before.
Yeah. So I think it's becoming more and more like the NBA, where we're going to start seeing a lot more of this movement, with big names too.
Hey, if it shakes things up and keeps it interesting, I'm a fan of it. I don't mind it. The more football news, the better, in my opinion.
I'm always for some professional team drama. I can sip on that tea all day.
And honestly, something we find out, after may make sense of some of these early moves that we're confused about now.
Right.
Honestly, David, I'm thinking that it's going to for how big these movements are being or that they're making. I think honestly, it's like either they know that there's about to be a huge shakeup that's going to ruin some of these guys' careers. So they're like, yeah, go ahead and we'll get you out of here while you can. Cause the ship's going down and it's going down hard.
Yeah. It's either that or it's like, hey, we're bringing on this guy as soon as the Super Bowl's over. So we need to get what we can for you now.
Yeah. Exactly. See, I've seen one kind of hypothetical scenario where the Raiders get Myles Garrett to pair with who's their pass rusher? Oh man,
I can't remember off the top of my head either.
But he's good. You know who I'm talking about.
I do.
That one guy that's good.
He's
really good. With the face and the pads and stuff. Yeah.
Are you talking about the one that has the nose?
He does, and 2 years.
2 years, old 2 years. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Heck, good old 2 years. I love that.
Yeah. Anyway, so Myles Garrett, Cooper Kupp, either DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett, and then Russell Wilson.
I mean, considering that Brady is now one of the chief decision makers for the Raiders and stuff, I'd be very interested to see what they bring in. It wouldn't surprise me at all to see a lot of big names, a lot of big talent. You know, they spend a lot, but they get it done, kind of thing.
Yeah,
because I mean, he's been in the league so recently that I still feel like he played against a lot of these guys. I mean, he knows very intimately what it takes. So I would trust a lot of his choices. So I think the Raiders are going to be on the up and up.
Yeah, no, I'm interested to see. I feel like the Pete Carroll hire was good for them. It's kind of un-Raider like because you usually expect them to make a bad choice. I know last year we were kind of on board with their keeping of the intern head coach, but clearly it didn't work out. So they were like, "Hey, let's cut ties, move on."
I'm glad they did it early instead of being like, "Let's give him 5 years."
Oh yeah. You don't want to do that. But yeah, it's kind of NFL, kind of short, sweet. We scared Grayson away apparently. While we're waiting for Grayson, David, is there any reasoning behind your background today?
Yeah, one of the worst trades of all time in the NBA happened. Yep. And the Dallas Mavericks just decided to give Luka away for free to the Lakers of all people.
Of all teams, too.
Awful.
Now you know what's going to happen. Now you know
I mean, for LA, for the Lakers, they made a great choice. Like, I think this is going to help them a lot because Kobe's kind of getting up there. I think he's going to have a couple of years. Oh, sorry, LeBron. No, Kobe is not playing either. But yeah, LeBron's going to be there for a couple more years, I think, and plenty of time to kind of mentor Dirk a little bit more. Not Dirk. Oh my God, Luka, a little bit more, and just kind of them together on the court is going to be scary enough. But I think he's going to really push Luka more towards his prime, and I think the Lakers are going to enter another dynasty period where everybody hates them yet again.
Yep.
And then Dallas isn't going to win a goddamn thing.
Nope.
So talking
championship.
Yeah, well, talking about the GMs and kind of odd statements that are coming out, we'll go to the Lakers, and they're like, this moves for the future, not for the present. I'm like, it can be both.
It's going to be both. Yeah. I mean, I
make it better now.
I'll say it's for the future, and only that it's only going to get better from here.
Yeah,
like it's going to be good, and it's going to become great. So they are the huge winners out of this deal.
Oh, 100%. Now the Dallas comments on the opposite hand, very puzzling, because apparently the reasoning they wanted to get rid of him is they thought he weighed too much.
Yeah, conditioning that he wasn't defending. Like, I think what really happened, and this is what I think, and listening to some of the talk radio around Dallas and stuff, I think that the consensus, there was probably some major issues behind the scenes with the new owners and everything that they and Luka clashed. And they just decided to, instead of solving the issue or dealing with it, they were just going to get rid of them.
That sounds like a Dallas thing to do.
It does. And yeah. And either that or Jerry Jones was like, hey, I don't want to be the most hated owner in Dallas. So why don't you guys go do this?
I did see a meme with Jerry Jones and a Dallas Mavericks shirt.
I mean, yeah, and from what I understand, like even the coach, like Jason Kidd, didn't know this was happening. Somebody said they called Mark Cuban right away when they found out and was like, what's going on? And he's like, I'd like to know too. So he didn't like, this was like a dead of the night, and it didn't even come, it came in at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it was super late because it was after one of our I think it was after Goosebumps.
It was it was late. It was like a random day and everything, and
they
just
played
suddenly.
each other too. So.
Honestly, I was in a stream and somebody came in and said something, and the person like streaming was like, I'm not going to believe you. Like, I'm not going for this trolling. And then other people are like, no, it's legit.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I Googled it and I was like, oh my God, this is so stupid.
Yeah, no, actual like pundits, like accounts that reported it got reported as hacked because they were like, there's no way it was real.
Yeah. And Luka did not want to go. He also wrote a letter, kind of like you were saying, that he was like, I always envisioned starting in Dallas and ending here. Like, I wanted to bring a championship here. And I heard that just a week or two ago, he bought a $10 million, like $15 million house in Dallas.
That's wild.
That he like just closed on and everything. Like he does not want to leave. So everything that happened was very much against, I think, a lot of people's choice, including the fans. So it's got to be these new owners that came in and just wanted to shake everything up. And AD is a terrible choice. That
Anthony
it is
Davis.
not. I mean, they might have a halfway decent season, but he's on his way out. He's one of the older guys. He's very injury prone. I think this one's going to be biting him in the ass for the next decade.
Yeah, he had some good seasons in New Orleans, but that was like a decade ago.
Exactly.
I mean, he was pretty good. Not like really great, but he had the potential. But ever since he went to LA, it just feels like.
I mean, I'm telling you now, I wouldn't have traded him even for LeBron.
Well, and did you see someone was showing a couple of weeks ago, Anthony Davis was asked or something about like how long it took LeBron to get to the scoring record. And he said something about it took him more years or something, and then now he got traded. Maybe correlation there. I don't know.
I just know that they would not have been. I mean, we literally went to the finals last year. Like, Dallas has gotten where they've gotten every year because of Luka. He is a generational talent that does not come around very often at all. And they didn't even ask for any like first round picks until like what 2029, something crazy like that. Like, absolutely insane. I think this was the worst possible trade maybe in sports history.
I mean, Herschel Walker is still out there, so maybe
that's still pretty bad. Yeah, well, at least NBA
for Dallas fans, that was a great trade. So,
but I think in the NBA, at least of the recent era,
it's very puzzling.
Terrible, very lopsided choice. It definitely feels like there's some personal vendetta behind this, and they were just like, who will take him? Like, who can we get to do this and wipe our hands of it? So I know there's a lot of people that have already canceled season tickets and stuff and boycotting games and all because of this.
Well, part of me honestly wonders, like, if this is LeBron trying to do what he always does, where he's like, I'm halfway through another season. I know this team ain't going to go nowhere, and I want another ring because I'm thinking about retiring for the 85th time. So I wonder if he started making some movements with some of the management over at the Lakers. They'll just offer a godsmack worth of money to be like, hey, just bring Luka over. We'll give you Anthony Davis, the worst of the worst that we have on our team.
Exactly.
And so I'm sure somebody somewhere is getting a little bit of a kickback.
Somebody's got to be
LB. Yeah.
Somebody's wallets in Dallas better have gotten very heavy for this.
I mean,
hey, something.
I feel like it just has to be.
Yeah, something else I really liked about how the trade came out was it was like obviously Luka, Anthony Davis. It talked the franchises. It talked all these picks, and then at the very end, it was like, oh yeah, and then the Utah Jazz were here.
Yeah, they were there. They got somebody. Just okay. Good job, Utah.
Yeah, just like Utah has been relegated, it's not even as important as some of these backup players and stuff. I just thought that was kind of a funny thing. But yeah, let's get to our award predictions. The awards are the 6 at 7 p.m. Well, 9 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Yeah, 9 p.m. Eastern. I don't know. It's at a time.
We're talking NFL awards, or what are we talking about?
NFL awards, yeah. So let's start. Let's see which one we can start with. We don't want to start with MVP because that's the big one. Okay. Here's the ones that I can read. We got Assistant Coach of the Year. We got Joe Brady, Buffalo Bills Offensive Coordinator. Vic Fangio, Philadelphia Eagles Defensive Coordinator. Brian Flores, Minnesota Vikings Defensive Coordinator. Aaron Glenn, Detroit Lions Defensive Coordinator. And Ben Johnson, Detroit Lions Offensive Coordinator. Scott, who do you think wins that one? Oh, we might be having
Scott got frozen.
Yeah, we might have technical.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like this is a lot like the Academy Awards. I only care about the big three. Give me a couple of the big categories. I could care less who's gonna win best assist. Like, come on, let's just do the best coach, MVP, maybe top rookie and defensive of the year. That's all we really need.
What David said.
Okay, we'll go up to the next one. Coach of the Year. So here are your nominees for Coach of the Year. Dan Campbell, Detroit Lions. Kevin O'Connell, Minnesota Vikings. Sean Payton, Denver Broncos. Dan Quinn, Washington Commanders. Andy Reid, Kansas City Chiefs.
It's going to be Andy Reid.
So because the world is an unjust and cold place. You're probably right. But personally, I would say Dan Quinn, because if it comes to who turned the team around from last season to where they are this season, hands down, they accomplished way more than I thought was ever going to happen. They didn't really change the team up too much, so you can't say it was just an influx of tons of talent. I think Dan Quinn knocked it out of the park. It would definitely be my choice right there. That's who I would say coach of the year.
Yeah. So on a similar note, even realistically, Andy Reid's going to win it, but I agree. Dan Quinn turned the Lions around. They got almost all the way.
The Chiefs.
Commanders.
I mean,
Commanders.
The Commanders.
No, sorry, the Commanders. Duh. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, the Commanders. Yeah, got the Commanders to where they are. Almost went all the way. So,
Scott, we're doing Coach of the Year. So we got Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, Sean Payton, Dan Quinn, or Andy Reid.
Sean Payton.
Bobby, look what you did. You made
question.
Scott leave. He was so upset with your answer. I will say I'm guessing it'll probably go to Dan Campbell, but I would pick if I had a vote, I'd pick Dan Quinn. I think we talked a lot about this on our mini sports chat, just the job he was able to do. It's pretty amazing because look at what they did last year and what they did this year. It's like a completely
literally a world of difference. I mean, they went from, I think they were bottom of the league last year,
mm-hmm.
or at least bottom of the NFC East. So the fact that they got one game from the Super Bowl, my hat's off to them. And that was with a rookie quarterback, you know, a lot of spots missing in their lineup. Like he killed it. He should have been the Dallas Cowboy coach. They should have kicked fucking McCarthy to the curb last year and let Dan Quinn take over.
Scott, who do you think wins Coach of the Year?
Well, it's got to be. I think it's got to be Reid. He keeps getting his team back to the. Keeps getting his team back to the Super Bowl over and over again. I think he's got even with the big name personalities on his team, he can still get wins out of them. So I'd have to go with Reid.
All right. Let's see. Next is Comeback Player of the Year. I'm only doing this one because we know one of the options in here, David, and we don't want to upset him for not naming him. So we got Damar Hamlin, Buffalo Bills, Christian Gonzalez, New England Patriots, J.K. Dobbins, Los Angeles Chargers, Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals, and of course the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings, Sam Darnold. David?
I contractually, legally, and morally cannot vote for anybody except Sam Darnold. So the Darnold has my vote, regardless of the fact that I think Hamlin's going to get it for the feel-good story.
Even though that was like 2 years ago, like he didn't get hurt last year.
I know they're still milking it, but I would say Darnold. He did fantastic, and I don't want to die tonight. So
yeah, I mean, you know, just as a completely unbiased person, I'm going to say Darnold as well. We've just been a huge fan. We're not going to say nothing negative about Sam Darnold. Bobby, what about you?
Damar Hamlin.
Oh Jesus, Bobby's
done.
Bobby's
this
done.
Is true. No, but after they thought with that head injury he had and stuff, kind of collapsed on the field.
But that was like 2 years ago. That wasn't.
Yeah, no, he legally died on the field. I know.
Yeah.
But that wasn't last year. That was like two seasons ago.
But I think that's going to be him, though. I mean, for the guy to come back for 2 years, the guy from injury like that, almost dead on the field.
But he played last year. He was on the field last year.
Did he win comeback player last year?
No.
So maybe they're like, we'll give it to you now.
Even though, if he learned to tackle, maybe the Chiefs wouldn't be in the Super Bowl, but
who can say?
The script wasn't written that way. Okay.
There's quite a bit of open quarterback scrambles where all of a sudden Mahomes could look like Mike Vick, and he was trying to punch the ball. I was like, tackle him, wrap him up, tackle him. What are you doing? Why do you do this? Grayson, are you gonna unbiasedly pick Sam Darnold as well?
Absolutely. I'm not at all being, blackmailed, contractually obligated, having death threats mailed to my house as we speak, to pick this way. So yeah, I think it's going to be Sam Darnold.
Good choice. Move on.
All right. We're
Next
going to
question.
move AP Defensive Rookie of the Year. Cooper DeJean from the Eagles, Brandon Fisk of the Rams, Quinion Mitchell from the Eagles as well, Chop Robinson from the Dolphins, and Jared Verse from the Rams. Maybe we just go for Robinson since he's not one of the only other 2 teams listed out of the 5. David, who are you going for?
I got to say, I do feel like it's going to be somebody on the Eagles just because they've made it all the way. And I do think their defense has been what's kept them in the game so often. I mean, they got Deshaun killing it out there with the runs and all. But besides that, there's been a lot of those kind of games that if their defense wouldn't have been on point, they would not have taken it. It keeps them within the 1-score games where they're able to pull it off. I'm not sure which one it's going to be, but I would heavily lean towards one of those 2 guys.
Yeah, if it was me, I'd probably pick Cooper DeJean. I feel like he's just having more of the season that people are going to see.
When they look back at it and see what led to it, I think he's got a stronger argument, but it wouldn't surprise me either way.
Yeah. Grayson, what about you?
Yeah, I feel it's pretty similar. It's going to be the Eagles. At least my feeling is that it's going to be one of the Eagles players for similar reasons. And yeah, it's not going to really be much of a surprise.
All right. So we get to AP Offensive Rookie of the Year. We got Brock Bowers from the Raiders, Jaden Daniels from the Commanders, Malik Neighbors from the Giants, Bo Nix from the Broncos, and Brian Thomas from the Jaguars. David?
I think it's going to be Jaden Daniels just to piss you off.
I mean, if I had a pick, it would probably be Jaden Daniels out of that list. I would say Bo Nix has the second closest.
Bo Nix, yeah, I think they do have a very big bias towards quarterbacks for this reward.
Yeah.
So I could see it, but I do think Jaden Daniels, again, the Commanders just completely played above the expectation level this year. So I think there's going to be a lot of focus on a lot of their different award possibilities. So I could definitely see Jaden Daniels taking it home for his rookie year.
Yeah, I think so too. Bobby, who are you picking for Rookie of the Year?
Bo Nix.
I am shocked. Bobby picking Bo Nix?
Yeah.
What? Oh. What? Where's my hat? I got to throw this.
I thought it was going to be Brock Bowers, Bobby.
I just lost money. I thought we picked anybody else.
Bo did a heck of a job this year, though, He
did. He did do a really good job.
No, he's worthy of the nomination for sure.
Yeah.
Like, if he won it, I wouldn't be like, oh, bullshit. Like,
yeah.
I just don't think he made as big a splash as Jaden Daniels did.
Yeah, I think the only – because I think passing-wise, Nix has the yards on him. But I think Daniels has slight edge on rushing. Yep. So I think it's just going to be a flare. And I think the Commanders have been more in the wide media eye than the Broncos. Yep. So, yeah, like you said, if either of them won it, it is what it is. They both
I wouldn't be upset either way. I'm not going to say somebody didn't earn it.
Yeah.
I just think the way the media goes and how far, I'm going to have to say Daniels is my best guess.
Grayson.
Honestly, yeah, I'd go with Daniels too, but my personal pick is Bo Nix. I think the way that he performed this year with the Denver Broncos being not a stellar team, I think he did a fantastic job. He definitely is where he's supposed to be. It's just he's dealing with toxic coaching and toxic, just team environment and just ownership and all that fun stuff. Which I know as a former Browns fan is, basically just as bad as saying go Steelers. But yeah, I would give it to Bo Nix personally.
Hey, pretty soon they could be the Lone Tree Broncos. So
I can see that.
I mean, that is where they're looking at some land.
They're looking to build a stadium out there now?
Yeah, they're looking by where the training camp is. Over there.
All right, so then we get pretty much the non-quarterback award. I feel like the Offensive Player of the Year award was made just because quarterbacks win MVP so often. So, though this year, maybe not, but of course we got Barkley in there. No surprise. We also got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson. I just want to see how crazy it is that both Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow are on so many awards and the Bengals didn't make the postseason. I mean, that's crazy.
Because the Bengals suck, Keegan.
I mean, their defense was horrible. Their offense was fine. Burrow had like a crazy amount of yards, but David, any surprises here or?
Not really. I feel like it's all political media game kind of thing, and I think the safe choices are the ones that's up there. There's no big surprises. There's no major snubs. It's just classic easy choices to make.
Well, I mean, to that point too, I don't think there was a lot of just offensive players that were kind of just out
nobody
there.
Stood, yeah, nobody was like, what? I mean, maybe Deshaun Watson.
I mean, hey, he was definitely Offensive Player of the Year with how offensive he was. Yeah, no, it was nobody.
You know what? Saquon might get it.
I think he probably will.
I think it depends if they give him the MVP.
Yeah,
I think Derrick Henry honestly is a strong contender to probably pull in behind Saquon, but I think Saquon's going to win MVP, so I think it'll probably go to Derrick, to be honest with you.
And it'll be nice to see some running backs get it again.
Yeah, just not a quarterback. I mean, it's been who's the last one? Adrian Peterson.
It's kind of like the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah,
where I think there's a big bias towards quarterbacks getting it.
Yeah,
you got to really stand out as another position to get it.
Yeah,
but how can you not give it to the guy that literally got the rushing record? Basically, like we all know, if he would have played that last game, he would have gotten it.
I mean, but what if the Eagles, Sirianni comes on and be like, hey, we're going to hold you back from the Offensive Player of the Year just in case you can win the MVP?
I mean, that's fair. That's a good choice. You know what? I can't give them shit about it right now, though, because they are at the
They are in the Super Bowl, and we didn't think that was going to happen.
So you know what? And let's hope it all works out and they beat those fucking Chiefs.
I do hope for Barkley's sake he can win it, because we've said it. If they don't, him not getting that record was for. I mean, this season doesn't mean anything.
It's basically all or nothing for him.
Yeah,
he's got to get it. That's the only way that you would feel okay about missing out on the record.
Yeah, and I think they can do it.
We missed it, but I won the Super Bowl. Like that's a big. And if they win, I fully expect he'll probably be Super Bowl MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they win, it's gonna be on his legs. Like that's just how it's gonna go.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let's get to Defensive Player of the Year. We got Zach Bond from the Eagles, Myles Garrett from the Browns, Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals, Patrick Surtain from the Broncos, and TJ Watt from the Steelers. David.
You know what? I'm going to say, just because they got nothing else going for them, let's give it to the Browns. Let's let them have it. Bring home a little bit of glory,
The Browns fans appreciate it, David. I'll be honest with you.
They need something.
Honestly, on that note, I want it to be Myles Garrett, but I think him announcing his openness to trade might cost him that the actual award, because I feel like
a lot of sour taste in some people's mouth.
Exactly. I think like he's going to be a lot of people want to just keep the players in their place, being like, "You work for us, mama." So they're going to probably stiff him, but I do want it to be Myles Garrett.
TJ wouldn't be a surprise either. I think he actually had a really good season.
Yeah, I think all these guys, again, I don't think there's a surprise. And it's all kind of even, so if anyone wins.
And again, they did well, but nobody really stands out to me. There is no clear winner, in my opinion, on really, and even MVP. I feel like there's an argument to be made for a lot of people this season.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like football like 5 years ago or like even 3 years ago where there was just wild plays being made and you're just like,
right.
They didn't nominate that dude. It's just, it feels very,
safe.
Milk toasty. Yeah, safe choices.
Very lukewarm.
Exactly. Like this won't make anybody mad. They did just enough and they did their job. So
you know what? Sometimes what you want though is just a nice glass of room temperature water.
So, yeah, on a hot summer day, sometimes it feels nice going down. You know what I mean?
Let's see. AP Most Valuable Player of the Year. We got Josh Allen, obviously of the Bills. Barkley again from the Eagles. Joe Burrow from the Bengals. Jared Goff from the Lions. And Lamar Jackson from the Ravens. And I think this is where it comes down to if they give it to Barkley. So if they don't give it to Barkley.
I got to say Saquon or Lamar personally.
Yep, Saquon, I think.
See, I'm saying Barkley or Allen would be.
That's just because you have a crush on Josh Allen.
I like Lamar too.
He's from. I went to school. Same place he was. I love Josh. Go Colts.
That's Chris Collinsworth and Josh Allen over here.
That's the Cardinals, David.
Whatever. I don't care. I don't think it's going to be Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen lost all credibility when he failed to get into the Super Bowl again.
Yep.
He's done. He was
not the Iron Man to stop the Thanos. That is.
Yeah. How many shots has he had at it now?
I mean, only 2 quarterbacks have stopped Mahomes and the Chiefs. One of them did it on both sides of the NFL. That was Tom Brady. Stopped him in New England and Tampa.
I'm just saying, there's something wrong when Tom Brady is the good guy of the story.
But Keegan, honestly, I will also put my pitch in there too. I think Saquon, but good backup would probably be Josh Allen. But that's what I want. I don't think he's going to win it.
No, because at the end of the day, I think Lamar makes the Ravens more than Josh Allen makes the Bills.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think Josh Allen is great, but he also has a fantastic team around him. The Ravens have a few more weaknesses, and Lamar elevates them to about the same level as the Bills.
Yeah, he's carrying that team.
If I'm having to judge off the one player of the difference they're making, I just think that Lamar brings more to his team than Josh does to his. Not to say they're not both fantastic. And Josh could possibly still do it with a worse team, but he doesn't have to. Whereas Lamar has proven himself consistently to keep doing it, and he's been playing at this elevated level for years.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Lamar. Obviously, he's a former Louisville Cardinal. I think what is going to hurt him this year is how good Derrick Henry did.
Derrick Henry, dude, that makes me so mad because he wanted to come to Dallas.
Yeah.
Instead, we were like, no, we're going to bring back Ezekiel Elliott. He can run 6 yards a game. That's all we need.
Decisions are being made, but we're not sure by who. But yeah,
this is the darkest timeline.
I mean, honestly, it is. It's very weird that it's just been a weird. The year is not even over, and next year already seems weird. Like it's just gonna be weird. And
I think we're in for a wild off season.
Yeah,
100% agree. I feel like with how this next season shakes out, I think this will be one of the last seasons Roger Goodell is the commish, and I can't wait to
re-up his contract. I thought.
Yeah, but I don't know for how long.
No, he's around for at least another year or two, though.
Yeah,
at minimum.
As true as that may be, I think this will honestly be like the final stones to push him out of here because I feel like, the NFL has maintained constant viewership, but I feel like it's been waning recently for a lot of markets. So I think they're going to start looking at how they can reinvigorate some of that old school football desire.
So he's contracted through 2027, March of 2027.
Yeah. So he's here till at least then.
2 more years. Yeah.
And you know what? By time we get rid of him, it's almost time for the Mavs to get that first round draft pick they got for Luka. Almost.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. We'll next week obviously we'll be here talking the Super Bowl. After that we'll be doing sports. It'll be a little bit different because it'll be shorter. I'm surprised we actually went this long tonight. But we'll kind of just highlight some of the sports, what's going on. It'll be a little bit different, but mainly just kind of big news.
Now, I do have a question about that. Are sports moving over to the Society of Main Characters? Or are we keeping it here?
So
or should people stay tuned and we'll figure it out?
I do think that is a answer we'll find out next episode. No, I'm just
kidding. There you go.
Leave them on a cliffhanger.
Be here. You'll find out where to find us.
Yeah. No, I mean, I have some ideas. Maybe we can just do football here and then all the other sports like weekly there. We'll figure it out. Obviously, like David said, we did kind of debut a new channel last night, the Society of Main Characters, and personally, I think it went off really good. I was really excited how the conversation went. I do appreciate all the hard work everyone obviously put in to read the book, come up with thoughtful, discussion topics, and just everyone had a good time, and I enjoy it. I just enjoy working with everyone. David, how do you think it went last night?
Oh, I think it was fantastic. I mean, well, except for Nick, but no, I think it went really well. Very, very interesting, stimulating conversation. Very, a lot of intellect, but a lot of comedy. Nothing. It got a little deep. It got a little not very deep, kind of like the book. It went really well. I'm excited to see the future of what we bring into it.
Yeah, and if you guys missed it, next month we are doing Project Hail Mary. So if you guys want to read that,
which is by Andy Weir, correct?
Who did The Martian.
That's right. It's a good spacefaring sci-fi story.
Yeah, we found out, at least me and Alex today, when I was telling him about what book, we found out it is being turned into a movie. So our first two are both being turned into movie. I think that one has Ryan Gosling attached. So it should be interesting. Grayson, how do you think last night went?
Very much goodly. My English is not great right now, but yeah, it's a fun time. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next one. Can't wait to pontificate literature with the gents yet again. But yeah, it was a good time.
And anybody who missed it and wants to watch it, the replay is still available here on Culz Paranormal Studios, so check it out. And by the end of the week, we're going to have the edited, uploaded version over on our new channel, the Society of Main Characters. So you can make sure to throw us a sub there. And something else exciting that we have started. Keegan, do you want to tell them about the brand new thing they can join and kind of hang out with us a little bit?
Yeah, Grayson put it together. I want to make sure I give him the credit. I did nothing of it.
So if it sucks, Grayson's
no,
the one.
You're welcome.
It's good. I just don't know the platform very well. Grayson knew it a lot better, and
it's called OnlyFans, and
we are charging very steep prices because we got to start somewhere. But
no, it is called Discord. We have a free Discord. You can come hop in and join, and we'll discuss all things that you see from any of our channels, be it travel, movies, paranormal, history, prehistory, sports, whatever, books as well, obviously. So if you guys want to hop in there, talk about what's going on, maybe give us some ideas or give us some feedback. Hey, I really like this episode. I wish you did a little bit more of that, because I'm more than willing to go back and film some more stuff if you want.
And especially with the book club that we're doing now,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to maybe give a read to some of the books we're reading, kind of read along with us, and then let us know your comments. We'd be more than happy to talk about them on air. Give us some discussion questions. We'll throw it into the episode.
Yeah, and you'll be able to find that in the link below. I've been trying to put that in all the links. You can go to the Facebook as well. It has it there. And yeah, come join us. David, I know Abnormal Voyage is just around the corner with a new episode.
That is correct. February 8th, this Saturday, we're going to start up with some brand new adventures. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you're there.
Grayson, what about you? Got new episodes for the fans to be on the lookout for?
Sure do. Almost done to getting that Nosferatu review re-filmed, and just got to edit that, so that'll be out this weekend. And then we'll be talking about Companion, and then got to take a look at what's coming out this weekend. But other than that, keep an eye out, or at least we're in the works with some other projects with some of the other folks that have been popping up here. So we'll keep you posted.
Yeah, and as far as Culz, we got B-Man's coming up for a Best Burger episode. I'm still working on a Temeraptor paper. I promise I won't go back to that museum this week and get distracted again. I'll be on my best behavior. But then Jurassic World's supposed to drop a trailer tomorrow, so I'm sure you'll see some stuff on that. And hey, maybe just hop over
trailers.
Yeah. We might have something in store for you exclusively on the Society of Main Characters, right, David?
It's something very fantastic, from what I understand.
Yes, I'm excited to see if there'll be 4 of us, perhaps, but we'll have to find out.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
But yeah, if you guys want more sports chat, you click that link to your left. See what we've been doing here at Culz to your right, and don't forget to hit that like, give us a subscribe, and let us know what do you think is going to be the craziest offseason move in the NFL this year. Tell us in the comments below.
And you know what? Just for fun, let us know what is going to be the score of the Super Bowl this weekend.